This book is called Jossik's Journal, and it can be found during the quest Horror from the Deep. It can be reobtained by talking to Jossik, searching the lighthouse shelves, or in one's player-owned house after completion of the Horror from the Deep quest. Journal. Beneath the third, the mystery of what has happened to my uncle has still not been revealed, but I must dwell on it no longer. It is slightly unfair that due to his absence, the council have forced me to take up his job here at the lighthouse, but what can I say to argue against them? They have allowed me to make a small income by selling items without the usual sales tax. But who is ever going to come all the way out here to this forsaken spot? Worse, I fear for my life, being between two barbarian camps. I have not had any particular problems with the locals so far, but who knows what can set off a barbarian? Benneth the 15th. My fears seem to have been unfounded. The local barbarians, who I have learnt prefer the term Fremennik, seem to be decent and hard-working people after all. They certainly do not live up to the terrible things that I have heard about them before now. I still do not have any clues as to what has happened to my uncle. Some of the local folks have tried to suggest that he was eaten by a sea monster that they claim lives near here, but I hold no weight to their foolish superstitions. He was always slightly eccentric, and I fear that he was simply overcome by the terrible loneliness from living out here in this desolate lighthouse, and one night simply gave himself up to the sea. Benneth the 32nd. It has now been almost a month since first I was sent to this forsaken and desolate spot. I still have no clue what happened to my uncle, and frankly, I have almost stopped really caring. All I can think of is somehow getting away from this terrible place. It has been 2 weeks now since I last saw another human face. I do not know how much longer I can stand this loneliness. I do not know if it is my mind playing tricks on me, but recently I have begun to hear something whispered on the wind. It seems to call my name as I fall asleep at night. There have also been many strange noises from below the lighthouse, and from behind the strange metal doorway that my uncle had installed in the basement. Perhaps this is how my uncle felt before he... No, I still don't know what has happened to him. I am filled with resolve to discover what exactly did happen. If nothing else, it will keep my mind from the voices that call to me nightly. October 13th. It has been some time last I filled out this journal, for my spirits have been lifted greatly in recent times, and it is in all down to keep a single person I encountered while working here. Her name is Larisa, and she is a local Fremennik girl who comes here to buy goods not for sale in her hometown of Relica sometimes. To be honest, I would have tried to strike up a friendship with anyone who came by, for it is a terribly lonely job working at this lighthouse, but even if I worked in Varrock, I could not have chosen a more pleasant companion. We really struck a chord together, and I think we may become more than friends eventually, but I worry that her family will think of me. From what I hear, the people in Relica do not take kindly to strangers. I have also made some progress in my search for the truth of what happened to my uncle Silas all those months ago. I have found a secret compartment with a diary hidden within it. I have placed the diary in the bookshelf for later examination. It is definitely his handwriting, and I hope that it may shed some light onto his eventual fate. I cannot help but to think that had he never come to this isolated place, that whatever befell him might have never happened. September 24th. Has it been so long since last I wrote in this thing? These last months have seemed like a glorious dream. Larissa and I have been falling slowly in love, and the torment that this lighthouse was to me when I first arrived here is now the place where I finally have found true happiness. All is not as perfect as I would like to believe to be, however. I still have had no luck in understanding what happened to my Uncle Silas, and his diary is so bizarre I cannot believe that the man who wrote it is the same man who used to take me on fishing trips to Karamja when I was a young lad. The writer seems to have been driven horribly insane by living here, or by some event that he had witnessed one day, and his diary is full of strange and cryptic passages. I feel sure that there is some message here, but I just cannot find what it says. My nights alone are getting worse too. During the day when I am with Larissa, I am always filled with joy, but when she goes home to her family at night, and I am left here alone, my mind begins to play tricks upon me. Often I think I can hear things moving in the crawl spaces of the lighthouse. Whenever the wind is to the north, I can also sometimes hear dreadful chittering noises. Is it voices? Or some creature of the night? I know not. But the sound disturbs me. One night I even thought I heard my own uncle's voice calling me to join him, but the voice was distorted and gurgled as though he were trying to talk through water. I dismissed this as a bad dream, yet it did disturb me deeply. I haven't told Larissa about my concerns, for I would not wish her to worry about me, but I have decided to give her a spare key to this lighthouse, for I cannot shake this feeling that should I remain here much longer, something terrible is going to happen to me. Strange, I thought I heard a noise from downstairs just now, but with the front door locked, there's no way for anyone to enter the lighthouse. I must investigate. And that's the end of Jossik's journal. The adventurer later finds Jossik shortly after reading this journal and saves him from the Dagonoth creatures lurking beneath the lighthouse. Very interesting indeed. Peace, guys.